The most broken weapon in Dark Souls that some of you may not even know of. A bunch of players think it is this here, the Black Knight Halberd. Now, how do you get this weapon? Well, there are two ways. The first is as you're on the path to the Darkroot Basin, Bonfire, and the Grasscrest Shield. Here you will run into this guy. He gives a 20% chance of dropping it, and if you don't get it here, the only time to get it after this is during the traversal just before the Gwynfall Gate. Luckily for you, I managed to get my hands on it after about 4 attempts just to see how broken it really is. So we start off in, okay, wait. So typically I would show the tutorial, Oscar, Undead Berg, all that. The footage is gone. The file corrupted, so instead we are picking up here at the Undead Berg. Also, I didn't want to use the mod because I'm lazy mainly, but I also wanted to get the authentic experience of using and getting the halberd, so I don't have it for now. So I went with my default of the Uchigadana by killing the Undead Merchant. This weapon required the minimum dex for the halberd anyway, and after I killed the Taurus Demon, I went on a crazy little journey. Over to my boy Andre, met up with him, upgraded Uchi a bit, went back down to Darkroot Basin to get the halberd then. I picked up the Grasscrest Shield like that would help me, but I still died to the knight a few times. I'm just really bad at parrying. And luckily on my 4th run, I finally got the 20% to hit and I got it. Excited to finally use this weapon, I went to my inventory. Oh, it required 32 strength. So quick speed run, I kill gargoyles because the Uchi cooks, went back to Firelink to kill Lodric and he gave me the Ring of Fap. Also I killed this dude, I forgot his name, I think he's a Fallen Crest Warrior though, but he gave me 1,000 souls. And I also went on to get all the lost undead souls around Firelink. I definitely didn't get all of them, but I think I got most of them, I think. I then went on to kill the Moonlight Butterfly and surprisingly, I actually did pretty good here. While I was here, I decided to take on Havel for his ring and I was able to do that without dying for my first time in any my playthroughs. Capra Demon was next, so to speed things up, I failed the jump skip many times until I got it so I could die. What am I even doing? Okay, for real this time, I died to fall damage. Okay, but this time I definitely got it and the door is open. I killed all the doggos and soldiers, went in, and actually struggled against more than just the dogs. I ended up just getting a few plunging attacks and then finishing off Capra pretty easily, and at this point I could finally hit the 32 strength requirement. I didn't mention this earlier, but this weapon requires Twinkling Titanite to upgrade. Now you may be saying, but Midworth, isn't that an endgame upgrade material? See, that's what I thought too, but I learned this weapon only goes to +5 because it is equivalent to a +15 normal weapon. Talk about a broken early game weapon. So coming back to Darkroot one time, I killed the little lizard who drops 2 Twinkling Titanite so I can upgrade it a little bit. And now it is time for the fun. I went down below Andre to test that on the Titanite demon and oh, this is gonna be amazing. After this, I went through the depths of hell, died a few times to the wizard up top for me being an idiot, but I got to the Gaping Dragon and he died in about 45 seconds. I'm not even kidding you, this was the quickest I've ever seen the Gaping Dragon die. I am starting to see why this is an endgame weapon. On to Blighttown, I literally speed ran through and I was met with Mildred. I too hit Mildred. This made me sad. So before Quelaag, I saw a summon sign for Mildred and decided to hit it since I had just slain Mildred for about 2 seconds prior. Unfortunately, Mildred did absolutely nothing. I expected to still have to dodge and pay attention, but the Black Knight Halberd is just shredding, dude. It's not even close. Quelaag died in less than a minute. In my first playthrough, not even 5 playthroughs ago, I struggled here for 2 hours. Moving on though, I rang the second bell and almost died to this egg girl parasites here. That would have been embarrassing. Glad I didn't do that. Anyways, while I was here, normally I kill Ceaseless, but then I remember I'm coming back here later for Demon Runes and I will kill Ceaseless then. Oh yeah, when you enter Fog Gate, you can't leave. Kind of forgot about that. I told myself I was going to do Ceaseless legit until I found myself stuck in here, and in order to not die with my souls, I just cheesed him. Next, I wanted to make sure everything here in Lordran was done before I went to Anor Londo. I was planning on doing everything I need to do here and coming back only after the Duke's Archives. It's funny how that turned out, but you'll see on that later. Anyway, I escaped the depths of Blighttown, went back to spawn to get the doll for the Painted World, and kill the Stray Demon. Now my halberd was still only +1 at this point, and just look how much damage it was doing. I get it's broken, but I really wasn't ready for it to do the same damage as my fully maxed out Chaos Blade. I picked up the doll and died to the Knight guarding it, spawned back in, killed Oscar again, and went on my merry way. Now another reason I came back here is because Twinkling Titanite is hard to get, until you go to Reddit, which told me you can give moss to Snuggly here and get some in return. You can do this with red, green, and purple moss, but I only had 2 of those, so I only got 2 shards. I also got some purification stones since I am known to get cursed a lot, and well, Seath preparation. I went back to Firelink, and guys, when I say I've never done Sen's Fortress faster, this is maybe my most hated place in the game. I ran through this. Usain Bolt would have to catch me to stop me. I did stop at the top for the bonfire though, and came back to kill the boulder throw guy, but after that I booked it to the iron golem, and I planned on letting him fall off, and then I saw my damage. There was just no reason to. He died in legitimately 10 hits. Keep in mind, I'm not even using power within here. I was so surprised, and here is some of my actual reaction. Oh my god, dude. This thing is so broken. Yeah, I just wasn't prepared at all. Now onto an Orlando. I quickly got through, 3 hit the first gargoyle, and went rushing across the ceiling with the painted warriors. Seriously, I am terrified of these guys, and this is maybe the hardest part of an Orlando. I got through thankfully, went across, and almost died on my run to the next bonfire, but luckily I was saved by this halberd 2-tapping the archer here. I just wasn't ready for that, so I kind of panicked. As I go to this bonfire and run through this area, let me tell you what prompted this idea, and here's a timestamp if you'd like to skip to that instead. So the idea came from Katarina fan on YouTube here, who posted a few shorts saying this weapon is broken and has a 20% chance to drop. And I didn't see anyone on YouTube do a full playthrough with it yet, so since I am terrible at Dark Souls and I've only played the first one, and at the time of scripting this, I still haven't even completed it. I thought it'd be for a good video, and so far, it's been a bit too easy. The Black Knight halberd just shreds. The damage is insane, and the fact you can get it so early in speedrun strength to 32 just makes it even more broken in my opinion. This was a super fun run, don't get me wrong, but I guarantee if you did it again, you would just be bored. I went from a dex build struggling on gargoyles to killing Quelaag in 1 attempt with 8 hits. It was super fun, so please subscribe for more and let me know what you'd like to see me do next. Back to this though, it was time for Smo and Ornstein. Ornstein went down super easily, and Smo took a few hits before I forgot he basically one-shots you. So now I do the run back and oh yeah, I didn't open the door down here. Run all the way back down, kill them again, and back to the fight. Ornstein once again wasn't too difficult, he went down very quickly, and this thing was just shredding him. Smo now I was a bit scared of. I played it safe and looked at his health drop. I mean, this is just the craziest Dark Souls 1 weapon ever, I guess. They go down, and I go up to see the twins. Killing the illusion, I stop by the bonfire and upgrade a little bit, and then I kill the 2 bodyguards with ease here. Getting 10,000 souls, I head over to the giant forger to buy some twinkling titanite. I +5 my Black Knight halberd, and this is when I learned you can't ascend this weapon any farther. So now all my souls will be going into my stats instead of this weapon, and let's see where we can end up at the end of this. I head back outside, remembering to not kill the firekeeper this time so I could rest at bonfires. Yeah, she followed me and fell off the map. I was so mad at this point, but I knew it meant one thing. I needed to first try Gwendolyn so I didn't have to do the run back. So for this time, I did just that. Now for the worst run back in the game, no matter what anyone says. Alright, this is the run until I forgot how to dodge. But this last time, I needed those souls. I locked in so hard, ran up, and even used the pillars to dodge the blue things that I forgot how to dodge last time, and Gwendolyn went down. I didn't even feel good enough to deserve the free chest in the end. So I just ran back to the bonfire and poured about 97,000 souls into some of my stats of strength and endurance. Before Gravelord Nito, my goal is to get 45 and 25 respectively. Now it's on to the Painted World, another place that I quite literally hate. So I decided to make a pro gamer move here. I was at 14,000 souls, just shy of another level up, so I farmed these first 3 ads until I could level up because I knew I just died to the turning the wheel part of this, and I don't want to go back down there. I level up and go in, and along the traversal I came across 14,000 more souls, so I farmed a bit more, leveled up again, and went down to turn the wheel. These 2,000 souls I lost were now gone forever, but I don't even care, it was so worth it. I went on to run under the bridge, and the knight got 2-tabbed by my halberd, by the way. This thing is just insane, and for Priscilla, she was no match for my +5 Black Knight halberd. She died in 6 hits. And it was back to Lordran with me. I actually didn't know you could run back up here after the Firekeeper and Illusion were gone, so I ran to where the bird brings you in, back to the Sen's bonfire, and I just warped back home. Warping is so huge, and I just wanted to get here to be honest. This makes traveling around a lot easier now. After using some more souls, my vitality was now at 23 and my strength was at 45, and I'm now ready to start on the Lord Souls. So for the Lord Souls, we need the Covenant of Artorias notorious to kill the 4 knights, and holy shit, I didn't kill the Hydra yet. That's okay, we did that in about 6 hits, killed the golden golem, and went up to kill Sif. Of course, I struggled with the cats a bit too. I really hate this fight though, the poor puppers, man. The lore here about her trying to stop us from becoming like Artorias is enough to make any grown man cry. And in case you were wondering, I killed Sif in 7 or 8 hits. This weapon is still broken even nearing the end game. Anyway, we sadly kill her and it's on to the 4 kings. Just kidding, I actually did that for no linear reason, and instead I went to the catacombs. Honestly, the Tomb of Giants is my most hated area in the entire game, so I decided to just get it out of the way. I got to the bonfire, did the drop down, and died in the most unfortunate way possible. Volume warning.
Roll, please. Minus 500 souls.
Next time I did it correctly, and you're not going to believe this, but Pinwheel didn't die in 2 hits. It took 3 hits. I just think it's insane how hard this boss is even nowadays. Anyway, now it's time for a tomb. My goal here was one thing: kill Nito and leave. I guess that's 2 things. I had to remember where to go a few times though. When I found my way back to Nito, and oh my god, I forgot to place the Lord Vessel. Alright, back to Firelink, hit the serpent to wake him up, and alright, now we are good. So from what I've learned on my last run, it was time to kill him. Alright, maybe next time. I still hate this run back. I feel like I could run it in my sleep now that I've done it so many times. I hated this so much. For this last run, I was planning on just running at him with a sprint attack, leaving, and doing it again to avoid as many ads as I can. Instead, I just hit him whenever I felt like it, but I finally beat Nito. This was so aggravating. I truly hate this boss fight with everything in me. I already didn't want to be here, and this just cemented that feeling even further. Okay, now is actually 4 kings. I actually have been down to New Londo like 1 time to access Blighttown. Regardless though, we ran through New Londo, cleared the water, ran to the boss, and died. Yes, I died with the most broken weapon to the 4 kings. The second try though wasn't much better. Sure, I killed them all, but the fact that I was using the most broken weapon in the game and still didn't kill them before the next one spawned is just kind of a testament to how bad I am at this game. Luckily, they stayed pretty far away, and I went through about 12 Estus flask in this fight alone. I was not dialed in, to say the least. I was also naked due to the weight of this weapon without Havel's ring. I was fat rolling in any armor, so I had to go in like this. At least now though, we can move on to Seath. So a few things before I go to Seath. Remember when I traded with Snuggly for the Twinkling Titanite? I also got the Purification Stones for the inevitable Seath curse, so keep that in mind as we go here. Getting to the first Seath death was not hard at all. I also remembered to get the broken pendant before this, and now we are DLC ready. After I lost about 10k souls at Seath death, I realized I only had a +1 Estus. So my new goal before Seath was to get the Firekeeper soul at the bottom of the stairs, and I completely forgot where the key for it was. Oh yeah, and by the way, I was streaming the whole time during the second playthrough after New Londo, so chat was able to direct me to the chest room for the key, which was quite a ways away. After I got the key, I ran back, got the Firekeeper soul, went to Firelink, upgraded it, and now we're back. So now we can do the run back to fight Seath. This run back sucks, so after killing the clams, I decided to pop a few humanities for curse resistance. I am really doing too much against this curse. It should not be this big of a deal. It wasn't even needed either. I tucked myself into his right arm and I only took like 1 hit of damage. Apparently this is like a cheese thing, which I didn't know it was considered a cheese. I just kind of saw someone do it in a YouTube video, so my bad. But can we talk about the Black Knight Halbert's damage here? This thing did insane. He died so quickly and I got out of there, and that's 3 out of the 4 Lord Souls done. Now, you may think I got to Bed of Chaos after that. No, I actually went back to Blighttown because I forgot that Firekeeper soul. I literally accidentally stumbled upon it while just randomly looking for it, and now I am comfortable enough to take on the Demon Ruins. Taking on Demon Fire Sage was insanely easy. It is simply a rebrand of the Stray Demon and Asylum Demon, except now his name is reversed. I actually even had to take an Estus heal here. I know, scary fight, but he went down super easily, and Centipede Demon was up next. I kid you not, I spent the first 2 minutes of this fight trying to cut off his arm while he was 20 miles away. I'm not even kidding. Give me a break though. I've beaten this boss 1 other time, so I still didn't know how it works, but once I did get him in, the halberd destroys him, doing about 2 segments of his health per hit. Literally in the clip, if you go to the first time I swing to 30 seconds later, the boss was dead for 10 seconds already. Also, level update, I went to 30 vitality, 27 endurance, and 48 strength. I know I've been missing a lot of level updates, I'm sorry, but just bear with me. I completely forget to write this into the script, I'm sorry. So on to the marathon that is the Bed of Chaos. I was terrified, but I locked in because I really didn't want to do the run back. I killed the left side first and then died. Round 2, I got hit off almost immediately. Blood already was starting to boil. And round 3, the same thing happened. Round 4 though, this one I actually got the right side down, but I died almost immediately after missing the jump. On my 5th run back, I legit cannot make this up. I made the jump. This was the most impressive part. Also, when I got here, I was kind of terrified my Black Knight halberd would be too big, but luckily it did hit the boss. With these souls, I pushed strength to 50, and with that, all the Lord souls were done, and it was officially DLC time. I ran past Andre one last time to get yoinked by Manus into the past. Sanctuary Guardian actually put up a fight this time. I even died. Once again though, in my last playthrough, I first tried him, so I didn't know his moveset. For my second playthrough, I was able to second try him. Really hope I second try Manus. Over to the most beloved fight in Dark Souls 1, Knight Artorias, and I was fully prepared for my clunky halberd to take 20 years to swing. But first, we gotta kill Chester to get the drippiest armor set in the game. So we did that, and now we can kill Artorias. Or not, forgot he's kind of hard. Round 2 was actually gross and insane, disgusting, all those words. I got hit and he started to do his power up, but by the time I stood up, he was able to get it off, explode, and kill me in the matter of like 3 seconds. This infuriated me, so I locked it in this time. I dodged everything, swung when I could, barely canceled his power up in time, and overall I was just dialed in. I even dodged some attacks that I didn't even mean to dodge. Throughout this whole run, I was kind of realizing why Artorias is such a fun fight. Instead of having the Chaos Blade do infinite damage to myself, I could just rely on him doing the damage to me and me doing the damage to him, not vice versa. Once he tried to power up here, I knew I had it this run. After knocking him out of it, with the 450 damage this thing did, I dodged, hit him once, got greedy and hit for 2 more times. I could have easily died here, but I guess it worked out. After all was said and done, I finally see why everyone loves the Artorias fight. Next up, I ran through the level 5 town hall, making sure to grab the crest key from the Mimic in order to talk to Goff later, and it was on to Manus. Now, in my first playthrough, Manus brought me a lot of trouble. I think he took 9 attempts, and I could hardly get his moveset down, so I just had to try my best. This time, I was determined to not let that happen again. To be honest though, the first few swings, I completely forgot his attacks. So he got me this time, I won't lie. But on the second try, it was like all of it just came back to me. I dodged his hand, healed up super cautiously, and look at the damage. By the time we got here, this was ridiculous. I know this weapon is endgame ready and super busted, but still, it has insane damage. Also, during this fight, he spammed Hellfire like 5 times. I've legit never seen him do that, but I didn't get shotgun at all, so I can't complain too much. I was able to dodge and do infinite damage to him and actually kill him on my second try. The relief I felt in this moment was insane. I hated this part of the DLC. Honestly though, the fights were fun. In my first playthrough, I was never able to enjoy it because I just wanted to finish the game before it ended stream, so I was more angry than anything each time I died. But this time, I went through the DLC in under 45 minutes. It just goes to show how broken the Black Knight halberd is, to be honest. But I actually was able to enjoy the fights this time, and I understand why this DLC is so good now. I upgraded a little bit and went to die to Calamite, hashtag rip these 10k souls, so Goff could shoot him down, and dude, the aura Goff has in this cutscene is insane. Dude clocks him from like 500 meters and Calamite goes down. I move in for the kill and he puts up a fight. I honestly did fine in this fight. Even in my first playthrough, I was about to kill him. Legit, he was 2 hits away from death on my first attempt. Yes, I know these 2 hits are like 7 Uchi swings, but Black Knight halberd is broken, so he ended up grabbing me from miles away. To which I said, I'm fine, it doesn't do a lot, completely neglecting the fact that it makes you take more damage. I died nearly 1 second later to a singular attack. Round 2 though, guys, I seriously locked it in this time. I was dodging, getting attack patterns, and I was able to dodge his grab attack. I actually thought this fire did way more damage, but I learned it didn't. Almost dying in the process, Calamite goes down. With that, the DLC is finished and it is time for the final boss of Gwyn. Heading back to Firelink, I upgraded one last time, and as I walked to Gwyn, let me tell you the last time I fought this boss. In this video at the top of your screen, I almost didn't make it out sane. It took me over 20 attempts last time. Surely it won't happen again, right? Yes, correct actually. I did it on the first try. So the simple answer was I just didn't parry. Since the Black Knight halberd did so much damage, I figured I could just treat him like a normal boss, so I did just that. I got a hit, he would attack, I would get a hit back, and luckily enough, if he ever did get hit, he for some reason would actually back off and let me get heals in. And with the damage of this halberd, the boss was done in no time. I actually thought I died because of the noise at the end after we both swung at the same time and hit each other at the same time, but after I realized I killed Gwyn on my first try, I finally felt that joy. Like I said, I couldn't enjoy it the first time, so for me, at 1 a.m., this was my beating the game for the first time moment. It felt super good and it was super fun. About the Black Knight halberd, what they say is true. It is super broken, and my only complaint is the clunky feeling it has. It feels weird to swing, especially to aim, but once you get used to it, it is truly amazing. If you want to do a playthrough at peak Dark Souls with overpowered abilities, I highly recommend using this weapon. Anyway, thank you guys so much if you made it this far into the video. Thank you to all of our community members, and if you want to support the channel as far as you can, for early access to these videos and special shoutouts like these, you can become a member now right by the subscribe button for only $1 a month. Thank you so much again. Also, if you are new, please subscribe. I plan to make more Dark Souls content, and I am on the road to 10K, so I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next one.